Hello, Levi. How are you?
How's it going?
Okay, thank you, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to interview you.
Absolutely glad to be here.
Okay, so friends, we have Levi here, and he's also called as Viking Buddha. So we'll know more about it in a while. So he started Swift Hypnosis back in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. He always has this mind to help people who are stuck. But obviously he was into 9 to 5 work life. Luckily, no universe. He says kicked his butt and started his path into this work, and he has been fortunate to train with the best in the world. Thanks to Zoom, I also second you, Levi. It was Zoom and trainers from abroad, which was like not so feasible to travel to every country to get trained. Now the training was available just with a click of a button over Zoom. So thanks for that. Yes, and
Absolutely.
he found his new love. Uh, Helping people with who wants to stop smoking, and also he helps people with trauma work and anxiety. So let's hear more about Levi's journey and what is this Viking Buddha all about. Just tell me a bit about you, Levi.
All right, so I guess I'll start with the Viking Buddha situation.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, so
I was helping a client, uh, still working my 9 to 5 job. It was a coworker of mine, and we were doing a lot of meditation and stuff like that, and processing and all that good stuff. And he came up with the name Viking Buddha for me, and it just kind of stuck. I ran with it. I thought it was good marketing. Uh, so that's kind of where that came from. I do have a Scandinavian heritage background as well, and I enjoy the Buddhist teachings and stuff. So it all just blended together perfectly. I thought it fit, and I ran with
okay,
it.
lovely. And how did why hypnotherapy? Why not other thing? You would have chosen any other thing. Why hypnotherapy?
So it kind of came out of the blue, like I said, with the pandemic just about to pop off. I feel like I got a download from the universe that just lightning bolt inspiration hit and said, "This is what you're doing. Start looking into it." I was kind of getting into like more of the spiritual side of things with universal consciousness and looking into like DMT and the effects it has on people with shared drug trips that they have with it. They're all seeing the same type of stuff. So universal consciousness was a huge pull for me. I started looking into past life regressions. A lady by the name of Dolores Cannon was really inspiring to me. So she's worth looking up if you're into past life regressions. But it's all this spiritual universal consciousness took me on this roller coaster ride, and I actually ended up in Egypt at one point because of this roller
Oh, okay.
coaster ride. But yeah, it's just been something's feeding me something. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why it came about, but I'm going with it, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Amazing, amazing. So, Levi, of course, since you're a hypnotherapist, and today's discussion, as you specialize with helping people to stop smoking, my first question is like, uh, I come across certain hypnotherapists like this one single session, and it is you're fully out of smoking habit. Doesn't matter how long a person is been smoking. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. That's how I do it as well. It's a one session thing. Takes about 2 hours to run my session that I do.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, it's amazingly up to you as a person if your desire is to quit. So right now with mine, it has a 95% success rate. That 5%,
95% success rate. Amazing.
95% success rate. Yep. And that 5% that doesn't have a success usually wants to quit for the wrong reasons. And that might be a spouse is bothering them to quit. or a doctor wants them to quit for a surgery. It
Okay.
needs to be a personal reason why you want to quit. And if you're ready and willing, yeah, we're at 95% with the protocol I've learned.
Wow. And single session protocol. That's it.
Single session. Yep.
Wow. Doesn't matter how long a person has been smoking.
It does not matter how long they've been smoking. It doesn't how many packs they smoke a day, how many cigarettes they smoke. As long as that desire is there to put them down for the right reasons, you're
Wow.
good to go. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. And
Wow.
even so, if you were to try and quit smoking just off of yourself, say, I'm done for it, I don't need any help, you have a 3% success rate doing that. If you were to try and quit with nicotine patches that the nicotine companies make, the nicotine companies came in and said, you know what, we can double that success rate. They have a 6% success rate, very low. Regular hypnosis and cognitive behavioral therapies have around 30 to 40% success rate, they say. It's give or take. I mean, I don't think these statistics are true for everyone, but it kind of gives you a guideline, a base of where everyone is. And so this process, it's called the Guzzo Protocol that I've learned. And it has a 95% success rate because it's using neurological processes rather than straight hypnosis. It's cutting edge neurological processes that remove it from your system.
Okay. Could you please come again? What the protocol that you are using?
It's called the Guzzo Protocol. Guzzo Protocol.
Okay.
Ken Guzzo is the creator of it.
And let us talk about the other aspects of smoking, because let's say a person has been smoking for the past 10 years or 20 years, Levi, and they have this nicotine addiction, and obviously the body is also used to the nicotine intake. So let's say a person is chain smoker and goes for 1 pack or 2 packs a day, and within 2 hours you are telling that there's 95% of success rate. So once a person goes back home, and doesn't the body crave, which is the formation of habit, right? So the body is used to the nicotine intake. So I'm still surprised, like how does that work?
So you nailed it on the head with saying it's a habit. And that's all it is it's just a hand to mouth habit. And what this neurological process is it removes that habit right out of your system. So there's no desires, no cravings, no withdrawals with this. We go through over the 2 hours a bunch of tapping sequences that clear it from your system. There's a training video in the front end that shows you why you don't need it and why it's just a myth of what's pulling you to it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and you're a non-smoker before we even do hypnosis.
Okay. So there is a pre-session work also done, and also post-work support will be there, or it's all about whatever you do just happens within those 2 hours.
So within the 2 hours, I sit you down. We watch a video that's about an hour long, and it goes through explaining what's going to happen, why the cigarettes are pulling you, why they don't need to be pulling you, all that good stuff. And then we go through a tapping process and clear it from your system. And then after that, we do the hypnosis and send you on your way. Yeah.
And
Amazing stuff.
no post session support is also required.
Nope, it shouldn't be required. We do offer a session if someone were to have picked up a cigarette for some dumb reason along the way. They're welcome to come back and we tune them back up for free.
Okay.
I tune them up back up for free. It's just me running it. But yes, if they needed that extra support, it is there for them. But most 95% of people are good and gone.
Such a unique stuff, right, Levi? This is because this has been a major challenge. So usually, what in the general therapeutic scenario people do is first find different brand, reduce the cigarettes per day gradually, and this and that, and all of a sudden therapists suggest that do not stop the habit suddenly, because the body might have cravings and all that. So what is your answer for
So can you ask the question one more time?
that? The thing is, body is used to certain years, okay, for the nicotine or whatever a person has been using. So generally, it is advised not to stop suddenly, because the body is craving for it. So gradually slowing down. Let's say a person is smoking 10 cigarettes per day. How about reducing one cigarette every week or two cigarettes every week, and gradually bring it? And also at times like these nicotine patches is suggested, or some people might have like withdrawal symptoms, and they are going through a lot of things and all that. And so what about that thing then? Because the body is used to so much nicotine ages, almost like 2 decades, 3 decades. Yeah.
Yep. So the nicotine patches are giving people 5 times the nicotine as if they were smoking, and yet they
Oh,
still smoke cigarettes. So
okay.
it's something more there than just the nicotine, right? It's the
Yeah.
habit that they're going through. So with this, it's removing that habit. I have heard people dialing back. I've heard a hypnosis process. I don't use it, but where they slowly go back on the cigarettes
Mhm.
and are able to remove it that way. And it's usually a week long process that they go through. But with the one that we're doing, it's you're in 2 hours, you're free. It's that simple. I mean, you're
Okay.
removing it from the body. It no longer exists. It's like before you ever even smoked. After you're
Okay. Just because being into this field, I resonate what you're saying, Levi, but still I'm talking more from a general public perspective. So that's the reason all these questions. So
done.
just
Okay. Right.
clarification. Yeah, just a clarification. Yeah, Levi, one more is let's say uh, the person has been picking up cigarette for uh, something else. Let's say the cigarette has given someone as a coping mechanism to deal with a lost loved one, or someone has picked up this cigarette to deal with business stress. So someone has picked up this cigarette smoking to whatever, like to deal with a divorce or a breakup or something. So when you remove this habit of smoking, and they don't have any alternative, because their mind has been tuned that each time they are feeling anxious, each time they are missing their loved one, they have this coping mechanism of smoking cigarette. Now, okay, that's I agree on terms of like 2 hours I spend with you, I quit the smoking. But what about the replacement? What about the like each time the trigger is there about whatever could be the trigger? What about that?
Okay. So the unconscious mind
Yeah.
is very powerful, and it will find amazing, healthy alternatives for you. I don't know what it will be for each individual person, but it will find a healthy coping mechanism, because obviously cigarettes are not a healthy coping mechanism. We
Yes.
need to get
Yes.
rid of
Yes.
that as quick as possible. But yeah, the unconscious mind, it might be working out more, maybe getting into finances and investing more of that money that you're saving from not smoking into whatever you need to do, but it will find replacements, healthy choices. That's what's important. So there isn't that whole, they say nature abhors a vacuum, right? And
Yes.
something will fill that that's
The
positive. And that's
vacuum
what the
is filled
hypnosis,
with the
yeah.
healthy mechanism. So okay,
With
awesome.
the hypnosis, we make sure that it's filled all in and everything's squared up and good.
Yes, Levi, because the unconscious mind is always protecting us. It is one of the key functions is to protect us, and
Oh,
it is convinced in the smokers aspect that smoking is safe for them, and that's how they have been dealing with a specific issue or whatever might be they're dealing with because of smoking. And once this smoking is quit, and the vacuum is created, what does like the safety part and unconscious resistance and all that? That's the reason that was the question.
So, okay, I need to hear the question
No, no.
again. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying, it wasn't a question. It was just a
Okay, yeah,
statement
yeah.
that
Yep. Perfect.
unconscious mind, the function of the unconscious mind is to protect us, to keep
Yep,
us safe. And
absolutely.
the coping mechanism, of course, unhealthy coping mechanism was smoking. So
Yep.
it somewhere thought that smoking cigarette is safe to deal with anxiety or whatsoever issue. Now comes there is the vacuum. So how could you please share like what were the alternative coping mechanisms your clients in generally found with replacement of cigarette? Did you try to check or any time it happened that what are they doing now? Like let's say after 1 year or 2 years, did you get to talk to any of your previous clients?
Oh, so yeah, working out is a big one. People start working out more often, real
Uh,
quick, and
uh,
that's some of them take to it. Some of them it burns out after a while, but that vacuum has been filled, and they just
okay.
go on with their lives. Yeah. So yeah, that's just kind of general stuff. Nothing stands out too much for me here, but
Okay.
I don't check in too often unless they contact me. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
Because if they picked up cigarette again or picked up smoking, you said that only 5% of people are there. Like 95% they never came back to you.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Very high success rate with this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's awesome, Levi, because it would even when it comes. Okay, did you use the similar protocol for other addictions as well, Levi? Like someone has drugs or alcohol, any other addictions? Do you help them as well?
I haven't had any drug clients yet, but I have done some alcohol clients with it,
Alcohol.
and
Okay, okay.
it was working as well. Yeah, and it is very client based. If the person
Okay.
is ready to give it up, they're gonna give it up, and this system hits hard. If
Okay.
they're not ready to give it up, so I guess I've had kind of 50-50 with alcohol, probably.
Alcohol. Okay.
Yeah, but smoking's 95. But alcohol, it's real client centered. I mean, it's more of a have or an addiction than a habit. It's a chemical addiction.
Yeah, yeah. Chemical
And
addiction.
yeah,
How is cigarette not a chemical addiction compared to how is smoking different from alcohol addiction?
okay. So when you have a cigarette withdrawal, you might get a little agitated. You might eat more, things of that nature, and that's all mental stuff up in your head. And
Mhm.
so that's a mental addiction, which is just a habit when you come
Okay.
to it.
Okay.
Whereas alcohol is a chemical addiction, and if you were to back off of alcohol, you could have life-threatening issues.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yep.
So there they might need a psychiatric intervention as well for some medication and hypnotherapy like that. For
With
alcohol.
alcohol,
Alcohol
yeah,
also. Yes.
absolutely. Check with your doctor before you work with getting off alcohol. Make sure you're safe to do it because your liver can
Oh,
shut down, all of that good stuff. Uh,
oh,
it can be dangerous, and you have to wean off of alcohol if you're heavy into it. You need to find a nice step down and get with a doctor, and yeah, maybe a psychologist as well.
okay, okay. Thank you for giving that advice, Levi, because
Yep.
just smoking 95% success rate. How about alcohol and like people? This advice might help fellow therapists as well.
Awesome.
Yes. So
I
thank
hope
you.
so.
Yeah. So next question is Levi. Because see, you said smoking is more of a mental habit
Yep.
which can be dealt with, and that's the reason smoking withdrawal is not life threatening like compared to alcohol withdrawal symptoms. And smoking obviously one of the challenging aspects to hypnotherapists and therapists as well to help clients to quit it. And when this protocol has so much success rate with smoking itself, and changing habits like addiction to porn, addiction to television, like binge watching, binge eating. So, how have you experimented with the other habits or addictions? Binge eating, all that stuff.
So I've helped some people with weight management using
Weight
hypnosis
management,
as well.
especially.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
yep. And I've had success with it. It's done well. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's really powerful. This works with emotional processes as well. People suffering from mental traumas, that type of stuff. Yeah, it clears it all from the body.
Lovely. That's awesome. So this is what I wanted an exclusive interview about smoking. Is this only reason, Levi, that hey guys, now much advancement has happened in the hypnosis world, and the number of sessions has been reduced, and so many protocols have arrived, and now worldwide experts are available, so you are
Yep.
not alone struggling, because some people just like I'm sure in January and February you're going to be too busy because of the New Year resolutions of quit smoking. Levi, the reason I am bringing up the New Year resolution part is like, okay, like I even heard this quote that it is very easy to quit smoking because I have done it more than 100 times. So, like, a New Year resolution, okay, from tomorrow I'll not smoke, and people feel guilty about, again, they want to quit. They're not able to. The urge to smoke is there. It's a cycle that keeps continuing, and such a quick protocols within no time people are able to get out of it all with 95 or 9 plus percentage success rate. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, people do get stuck in that cycle of trying to quit. They say it
Yes.
takes about 60 times if you were to try and do it by yourself
Oh
to
my
quit.
god.
Yeah.
Quit relapse,
So,
quit relapse, quit relapse
yep.
cycles.
Yep. And so, yeah, if you guys are interested in quitting and honestly wanting to quit, hypnosis is the route. It has the
Viking
highest success
Viking
rate.
Buddha is available.
Absolutely.
Okay, so why is it so difficult for a person to quit smoking by self on their own? I have heard very
Using,
few cases on their own. Why is a person not able to quit smoking? Like you said, 60 times it would at least take to quit on their own. So,
yep.
what's the reason they are addicted to smoking?
So the difference there is when you're quitting on your own, you're using willpower.
Willpower.
Whereas if you're using hypnosis, you're harnessing the power of your unconscious mind. And
Wow.
this is nothing more than an unconscious process right here. So if you can tap into that unconscious process and remove that habit, you're good to go.
As
Wipe
simple
it
as
from the
that.
system like it didn't even happen, right?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, Levi, as I said, I wanted an exclusive interview dedicated to quit smoking part, and thank you very much for accepting to
Yep.
be interviewed. And you are like open to all the questions, right from substance abuse. And thank you for clarifying how alcohol addiction and smoking addiction are different and not to be confused, because and also the safety measures required when it comes to alcohol addiction, and how smoking is related to more of a mental habit, and
Yes.
how unconscious mind figures out its own coping mechanisms to fill the void as well, and the success rate of 94%. It's amazing. You're doing a fabulous job, Levi.
Thank you
So
very much.
yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm in the same interview YouTube description. I'm going to make your website details also available. So whoever wants to quit smoking, guys, Viking Buddha is available here.
Thank you very
So
much.
thank you once again. It was wonderful having you
Awesome. Thank you very much.
here. Okay.